Nothing says Cheltenham more than a cracking offer from Paddy Power. It's money back as a free bet on all losers if the starting price favourite wins in the first race every day of the festival. Max free bet £10, T's and C's apply. 18 plus BeGambleAware.org.
Welcome along to the Racing Post Postcast. It's day two. I am delighted to be standing in between Alistair Down and Paul Keeley, not least because it makes me feel quite thin. We've also got Paul Binfield from Paddy Power, and I'm delighted to say our Ireland editor Richie Forrestal is with us as well. OK, we will take the races in chronological order, and we will start with what many people see as the banker of the week, Sam Crow. Just how short is Sam Crow now, Paul?
6-4 on Bruce. We're going with a money back special tomorrow. Money back all losers if Sam Crow wins as a free bet. And then it's 7-2 next destination, 9 Black Op, 14 Duke Day Geneva in my best French Vision Day flow.
I want to hear your worst.
No, I got French O level, Alistair, but I could only read it. And 25-1 bar.
OK, we'll start with Richie. Oh, by the way, the news flash, Paul Keeley's just said, well, Bob Paul was giving us the show. Paul said, we're doing Wednesdays, are we? So anyway, he now knows what day it is.
Finger on the pulse.
Right, Richie, Sam Crow, what's the word from Ireland? Good thing?
Sure, everybody else seems to think so, Bruce, but I don't. I think he's worth opposing simply because there's a horse in there worth opposing, and with I think Next Destination is a very, very good horse. From the day he won his maiden hurdle, he beat Paloma Blue in that, he beat Palisader in it, he beat Someday. He's a Grade 1 winner. He's given Duke de Ginevra a similar sort of beating to as Sam Crow did. I think his form is very good, and at the prices 7-2, 4-1, I think he's the one to be with. Look, Sam Crow might be the next coming. We'll find out tomorrow, but we know what Next Destination finds for pressure. He finds plenty. He travels, he jumps. I think he's the best novice hurdler in Willie Mullins' yard, and I think he's going to give Sam Crow a big race.
I've got to say, there's a real clash of how people cover horses, Kills. You've got a really hyped horse in Sam Crow and a horse called Next Destination. They both won 3 this year. Both look very impressive. And as Richie says, Next Destination, no one's ever really quite believed it. What's your view on this one? Sam Crow, good thing?
Well, he might be, but I think the British horse Black Op is very good too. And you know, the official handicapper rates him the same as Next Destination. He's nearly 3 times the price. That Trials Day race where he was second in January, that he probably should have won, traded at 25-1 on him running. That was a really, really good piece of form, and he'll travel through the race. And I think he's the each way better the race. I think all of us are part hoping that Sam Crow is an absolute superstar, but I'm not betting short prices at this meeting.
OK, Alistair, what's your view?
Well, Sam Crow, echo exactly what Richie and Keels have said. I can't be with it. It's not my sort of price. I'm not saying it won't win, but the fact he's so short makes the market for value, each way thieves and all that nonsense. The road to hell is paved with the search for value. I like Brahma Bull, which is the Willie Mullins 8th string. It's had 1 run over hurdles. Every hurdle it saw, it just said, what the hell are these? And jumped left, right, clattered a few. Haven't seen it since.
It's like you with deadlines, isn't it?
Oh, yes, thank you. It was going to run the Albert Bartlett. I don't know why Willie has switched it to this much more competitive race, but I think around 33s?
40s.
40s, well, that's a working man's price.
That's a great price. Paul, who do you think will win this one?
I agree with Paul Keeley. I think Black Op's a really nice horse. It was course and distance in January on heavy ground, and Santini, who beat him, is a nice horse, and he made a complete hash of the last. So Black Op for me, Bruce.
Okay. Blimey, the sun's come out. It's quite warm. Let's do the RSA next. This is a fascinating heat and no mistake. Paul, give us the prices, and then we'll stick with you. You can go first with the tip.
Okay, it's 5-2 presenting Percy, 3 Monolith, 6 Alboom Photo. Dunikos has come in to 7 from 9 today, while Black Corton's going the other way out to 8 from 15 to 2, and it's 11 bar. I am going to go with Dunikos. One of our traders told me a few weeks ago he was a certainty for the National Hunt Chase. Gigginstown have chosen to go for this race, which is a brave move, but perhaps they know what they've got. He's 3 times the price of Monolith, who didn't beat him far at Leopardstown, and the additional 3 furlongs could make the difference.
It's a fascinating race, this one, Alistair, isn't it? The one thing you're going to need to do if you're going to win is stay, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's going to be old-fashioned RSA, which they either used to bottom them or they survived and learnt. But Dunikos money is certainly interesting. The one I like is Monolith, who I thought I was kind of unlucky to get stuffed in the Albert Bartlett last year. Right? He's fallen once, but he's a good jumper. He's very gritty. He'll go on the ground, and they've stuck with this rather than going down to the 2.5 mile route. And I think it's got every chance.
Monolith for Alistair, who for Keels?
The more I look at this race, the harder I think it gets. I mean, I've fancied 3 or 4, and if I back any more, I'll have almost the whole field covered. Presenting Percy, I think, is probably the most likely winner. I thought Mona Lee should have gone to the JLT. I'd love to see Black Corton win because he just keeps beating everything that puts up against him. But I wouldn't rule out either Elegant Escape, Dunikos, or indeed, I've forgotten the name of the horse now. Ballyoptic. So I think this is no, exactly. Yeah, but it's been a long week, isn't it?
That's helpful, isn't it? Yeah. So just basically do dual forecasts or perm the 6 out of the 9 you fancy. Yeah.
What I will end up doing is exactas with the biggest price 3 or 4, and leave the 2 favs out.
Thanks, Paul. Richie, who do you like?
I'd probably stick with Monolith, even though the more I look at Presenting Percy, the more I kind of like him. He's had a very unorthodox prep. He's won a Porterstone over 3-5 in soft ground, which, given the conditions here today, is encouraging, I suppose. He's won a Galmoy, and he's been second to our Duke in Gorham Park as well. He is probably the horse to beat, but I have been on Monolith's side in recent weeks, and I haven't seen enough to take him on at the price. I think Monolith with Noel Feely up. What you're going to need over the next few days is a cool head, someone with a bit of sense riding, and Ruby, Russell, Noel, Barry Geraghty, those lads are the men you want to be keeping on side. I'll go with Monolith.
Do you know what? 33 years ago, I backed the winner of this race at 50 to 1. Name of the horse? A Kinsman. I'm going to back the winner of this race at similar odds tomorrow, Alison Monteg. Let's take a break.
Nothing says Cheltenham more than a cracking offer from Paddy Power. It's money back as a free bet on all losers if the starting price favourite wins in the first race every day of the festival. Max free bet £10, T's and C's apply. 18+ begambleaware.org.
OK, the gradient gets ever steeper. The third race on Wednesday, the 250 is the Coral Cup. 300 million runners, 7 to 1 the field. Good luck, everyone. Let's get a show of betting and then the tips.
7 to 1 Max Dynamite Bruce, 8 William Henry, 10 Top of the Game, 11 LeBroy, and 16 to 1 Bar.
Keels, you can go first. Solve this puzzle.
Yeah, very difficult one. I backed the boy a while ago. I'm a little bit concerned that he won't get home in the ground now. The other two that interest me, Springtown Lake for Philip Hobbs is the only trainer to win this race with a novice, and Springtown Lake got some good form behind on the blind side. Finished ahead of Red River, who's rated £6 higher than him now. And the other one, a bit left field, Royal Vacation for Colin Tizard. Was a very fortunate winner, obviously, of the Courto Star Novice Chase last year with Mike Bite Fell, but actually won a 2 mile 5 furlong handicap chase here on bottomless ground. After that, off a mark of 143, went up to 152. He's back down to 142 over hurdles, and he's had a wind up, and he actually travelled really well on a Relkill hurdle until obviously he couldn't breathe in the running.
OK, there's 28 runners. Kills has done 28 preview nights, and he's now picked 1 in each. OK, thanks for that, Kills. Richie.
Yeah, a couple worth mention maybe. And Diamond King is only a few pounds higher than when he won this a couple of years ago, and he had one run back behind Colulta Vic at Punchestone and ran quite well. It's not beyond the realms of possibility he'll run well off top weight. Abyssial is another one that will love the ground. Again, he came back from a break the last day and ran well in behind Forge Meadow in the Red Mills. Quite possibly well handicapped and will love the ground. The one I'm going to go with though is Nicky Henderson's horse, Burbank. Probably a solid bit of form behind Jenkins the last day in the ground, and at 20s I think he's probably the best option in it.
I heard a very strong word last week when I was doing a preview night for another Hendo. Fix Le Cap had a wind up and apparently might run very well at a decent price. Alistair, what's your thoughts?
I'm very much Burbank. I had a word with Nicky Henderson at the weekend. You don't normally think handicap hurdles for him here, but I think Burbank is a real decent each way punt.
Great, 2 votes for Burbank and Paul Binfield.
Well, I'm going for LeBroy. It looks like I'm copying your man now over there. He picked the Imperial Cup winner on Saturday, so it's not a bad system. Ben Pauling, second to Black Ivory at Aintree in December, and that one went in again at Aintree, so it's good form.
And Ben thinks this horse has a major race in him. He's kind of obsessed with LeBroy. Whether it's tomorrow or not, or today, we'll find out.
OK, the Coral Cup is a head scratcher because there's a zillion runners. The Queen Mother Champion Chase at 3:30 is a head scratcher for all sorts of different reasons. Far fewer runners, but question marks over the front two. Now listen, if this was Peak Altior versus Peak Duvan, we would be looking forward to one of the races of all time. We might still get that, but of course there's doubts about them. And at the moment, I just looked at my app, and Paddy Power, massive price. Altior, what's going on, Paul?
Yeah, we're still 5-4, Bruce. 5-2, Douvan. I guess with the scare over the the lameness, we're happy to go to 5-4. We were evens before that news came out. Great news that he's sound this morning, but still a battle royale, even though there's doubts. And you'd love to be the trainer of one of these other horses, wouldn't you? 3-1 Min, 12 Politolog, 25 Special Tiara.
Yeah, Nicky Henderson, Alistair, must have been very relieved when someone said the Puss in Boots pantomime is behind you. I've dropped my phone, you've ruined it. Anyway, not bad, was it?
I thought it was good.
Right, come on then, Alistair. Altior, if he's fit and well, is surely a massive price at 5-4, isn't he?
Probably is a massive price, and it's not like he's had a muscle problem or a strain. He's had pus in his foot. They've drained it. The only problem is that the last 48 hours it'd be like the sort of Tokyo Underground, with people going in and out, vets and stress trainers, more stressed assistant trainers, head lads travelling. Anyway, whether that unsettles him, I probably doubt, but it's not ideal. I'd want to be with him, though I think it's going to be a real battle. I don't think it's going to be a wide margin victory. I mean, this ground, everyone's going to think all week, everything's going to win by 25 lengths. It may not be the case.
Richie, what's your thoughts on Douvan? I mean, obviously we've had is he going to be fit this season? Is he not? Which race is he going to run in? Here he is. He's lining up in the Champion Chase. He's 5-2. Is he a bet? Can punters really put their faith in him?
It's impossible to put your faith in him in the circumstances. I remember Cyborgo winning a Stayers here on his first run, having not run since the festival before, and it's the only time I know of a championship race being won after 365 days off or whatever. I can't see it happening unless Altior underperforms markedly. Now, obviously, there's a lot of confidence behind him from the stable. Ruby's riding him. That tells its own story. But I mean, if it was the case that Altior and Douvan were coming here, both of them fit and healthy, Douvan is proven in bottomless ground. Altior actually isn't, which is interesting. The only thing about his foot injury, you got to remember, Very Wood won here a couple of years ago after a drop in his foot, and Harzand won a Derby after getting a drop in his foot. So once they get the pus out and it's released, it's probably not going to be a big deal. I find it hard to go against Altior. He isn't proven in the ground, but he's a very good horse, and in the circumstances I just couldn't have Douvan.
Keels, you're not one for the shorties, but if Altior wins by 5 lengths comfortably at 5-4, everyone's going to say, how on earth did we let that go on back, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at it, it does seem a crazy price. I mean, they would not let him run if it wasn't, if it was remotely serious. So he is the best horse in the race as far as I'm concerned. You have to ask yourself, does Ruby Walsh have any loyalty to horses? He didn't when Hurricane Fly ran and Foheen ran in the race. He jumped off Hurricane Fly, ran and rode Foheen. So I think that's a good sign for Douvan more than anything else, because Min's a very, very decent horse. But he's still 7 lengths to find with Altior and the Supreme, and I don't think Douvan will be quite good enough.
Okay.
Before you move on there, one worth mentioning, Ordinary World of Henri De Brahmins was placed behind Altior last year in the Arkle. He's 50-1, and Russell will ride him to get home and ride him to place. He's a big price. He could run into the places.
Well, this is what I was going to ask you guys. Just say Altior's situation does affect him and Douvan isn't his old self. All of a sudden, there's the scope to try and nail a winner or an each-way bet at a massive price. So you're going Ordinary World, Richie.
Yeah, but the obvious one, if that were to happen, though, is Politolog. I mean, he's a very good 2-miler, and Paul Nichols knows how to train a champion chase winner. He's still probably the third best horse in the race.
Yeah, and he will absolutely love the ground as well. I mean, no problem with him. He's a strong staying 2-miler.
I'd go with Charbel on the basis that he was really putting it up to Altior in the Arkle last year. I know he hasn't really done great since. He's got a bit of form on heavy. I'm going to throw a few quid each way at him at 40-1. Binners, what about you?
Well, I do think Altior is a certainty, Bruce, but if you want one against him, I agree. Politolog, he ran well at Newbury, probably had to do the donkey work there, and in different circumstances, if Altior's not 100%, maybe he'll turn the form around.
Back with Paul Keeley's highlight of the week next.
Nothing says Cheltenham more than a cracking offer from Paddy Power. It's money back as a free bet on all losers if the starting price favourite wins in the first race every day of the festival. Max free bet £10, T's and C's apply. 18+ BeGambleAware.org.
OK, the cross country. Now, when Paul and I used to work together on the Racing Post Sports Desk, and we'd be sitting there during Cheltenham Week punting away, he used to go down the pub for the cross country. Absolutely hated it, couldn't stand it. Have you changed your view now, Kills?
No, not really. And I've got absolutely no idea what is going to win it. I don't think any of the front ones will want the soft ground that much. I can't tell you much more than that. The last Samurai might go well, but I mean he's only 6-1 now, isn't he?
You could go to the pub for extra long because the Fred Winter is on after it, so I mean you get an extra hour out of
That's
it.
all right. That's all right. Now.
Yeah, we like the Fred Winter this year, Richard. Okay, give us some prices, Paul, for the cross country.
Well, it's 11 to 4 Causa courses, 5 Josie's orders, 6 Auvergnat, the last Samurai Tiger Roll, 8 Bless the Wings, and 14 to 1 Bar, Bruce.
Alistair, coming into the week, everyone was saying it's going to be Cause of Causes or Tiger Roll. It can't be either other. But of all the horses that aren't going to like what's happened in terms of rain this week, those are 2 of them, aren't they? And obviously the market now has corrected.
Them here, that's quite something.
Who do you like then now?
I'm not going to play. I was Tiger Roll man, but I'm concerned about the ground. I know that when it came and rehearsed here, and lots of these will have done, it absolutely loved it. So I'm fond of it, but I can't play with him or against him.
Richie, have you got a view?
I have, yeah. I'd be taking on the 2 of them. I think there's one obvious horse in here that's being missed completely. The last Samurai, you mentioned Kim Bailey a minute ago in Charbel. This guy's top rated, 159. He's, on official ratings, he's the best horse in the race. He's been placed in a Grand National off, I think, 149. And he ran, this season, he's run second in the Beecher to Black Lion, which was a solid run. And he was 4th behind Definitely Red, Bristol DeMay, an American here previously. He's the top rated horse in the race. He loved the ground. I think he's grossly underestimated.
And he jumps.
Yeah.
Binners?
Well, I was like Alistair, a big Tiger Roll fan. Someone at one of these preview nights I went to was raving about him. It might even have been like Luke Harvey, so I can't believe I didn't completely ignore it. But listen, I'll stick with Tiger Roll despite the ground.
Okay then, let's move on to the aforementioned Fred Winter, and again it's another puzzle, really difficult punting day this, but hopefully the lads have got one in the Fred Winter. First of all though, Paul, what are Paddy Power's latest prices?
Well, we can't separate Act of Valour and Noob Negra, Bruce, at 7 to 1, then it's 8 to 1 Gordon Elliott's Machuca, 10 Style de Garde and Look My Way, and it's 12 to 1 Bar.
And Binners, you can go first, who wins?
I think Machuca, Bruce, the horse has had about 7 runs. He's won his last 2, and when he won last time, Gordon said he's got a great chance in the Fred Winter. He'll come to the last on the bridle, and then it's a case of whether he just gets up the hill. And at 8 to 1, I'll take some of that.
Machuca for Binners. Who for you out?
Night Destroyer of John Joes, which has got form with Nubi Negra. Haven't seen it since December when it's behind Apples, Shakira and Nubi Negra. Gets a couple of pounds and is locally trained, and there is the odd word for it, around 16 to 1.
Okay, 20 to 1, Alistair, and that's
20
Night Destroyer with a K. Kills.
Yeah, I was all over Act of Valour early a few weeks ago, and he seems to keep on shortening, and I'm not absolutely convinced that he's going to get home in this heavy ground. So I'm jumping ship. I'm going with Frank Hickey's pick from last week, Oxford Blue. I had another look at that race at Market Race, and he did look really, really tough, and he'd have won another couple of yards. Real strong stamina test. He'll be in the mix.
Okay, and how about you, Richie?
Yeah, look, I'm being paid to give a selection, so I'll give him a Machuca.
You're not getting paid, mate.
But I wouldn't go near it as a betting platform. Machuca's 4 from 6. He'll go on the ground. He might not get up the hill, but he was placed behind Asper Dallin, who was supposedly a triumph horse until he took a step backwards. A 10 to 1 Machuca is probably the best of them for me.
Okay, and again, I will pass on a very strong word I heard for the King of May of Brian Ellison's. Okay, then, completing this marathon punting test on the Wednesday, 5:30. It's the bumper. And of course, Paul, your colleague, Mr. Nugent, bred the favourite, Blackbow, so it must be very exciting for him. And Blackbow, 9 to 2, I believe.
Absolutely, yeah. I apologise to your viewers as well. Paul just mentioned Frank Hickey. I don't know why he isn't here when I am, but anyway. 7 to 1 Felix Desgy, 8 Tornado Flyer, 80 Milan, 9 Rainstone, 10 Carefully Selected, 12 Bar, and good luck Tom Nugent.
We love having you here, Binners, don't worry about that. Alistair, who wins the bumper?
I've no real idea, but I'll go with Felix Desgy of Gordon Elliott.
Okay, Keels?
Yeah, Felix Desgy, Gordon Elliott was talking that up. He's a very, very rare runner for Gigginstown in this, isn't he? So whether they think he's got a big future or this is the day.
Cost nothing. I think 28,000 yo-yos.
This is really bad news for bookies reps, this Felix Desgy running, because in the past, Gigginstown runners in bumpers, if they win races, we've ignored them with prices and we've gone somewhere else other than the press room. But now we have to hand out loads of pieces of paper. So
it's a hard life, that, isn't it? You know.
It is very tough, Bruce.
Yeah. I don't know how you do it. Okay, never mind those coal miners and nurses handing out bits of slips saying now 7 to 1 for the bumper. I don't know how you do it. Thank you, Paul Binfield, MBE. Sorry, Kills, what were you saying? Felix de G?
Yeah. He was talking it up big time on Saturday, but I still prefer the form of that Leopardstown bumper in February. Blackbow won it. Rhinestone was second. I don't make Rhinestone twice the price as Blackbow, and that's what he is now. I think he's got a serious shot with a stronger test of stamina of picking it up, but that was a really good bumper.
Come on, Richie, I want you to have sussed one for the bumper. What you got?
I have. If you were watching our Facebook Live last week, Bruce, you'd know all about it. I had my charity bet on it.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the one thing I've got in common. I haven't got a clue what Facebook is, and Nora's out.
It's on YouTube as well, so I'm not listening to your excuses. I had my charity bet on Know the Score, David Pipes. He was 33s, €100 charity bet on him. He's now into 20s, 25s.
Less than that now.
Yeah, they're coming all the while from. He won his point to point. He by Flemonsford, won his point to point in soft ground in November. Went to Toaster, won in soft ground, won impressively. He's with the Pipes. He's by Flemonsford, as I say. I don't think he should be as big as he is. I think Blackbow, in fairness, is probably the right favourite. And you like to see a horse with a bit of experience at the head of the market for this race. But Know the Score for me for the Pipes is the one.
And it cost 380 grand, that thing. Go on, Al.
Plenty of bunts, isn't it? He's talking about winning pint to pints. That's what Keeley normally does.
Now, Kills having a dry week, aren't you, Kills? Did you have any last night?
I had nothing at all last night. Loads and loads of cups of teas. That was it.
Brilliant.
Without a Cheltenham preview for 2 months.
So Kills' sectionals are very surprising. He's got off to a very slow start. Right, let's try and give you a decent chance of making a profit on day 2 with the naps. Paul Binfield, only one bet.
Matuka in the Fred Winter.
Alistair?
Burbank in the Coral.
Keels?
Yeah, I'm going value. Royal Vacation in the Coral. Massive price.
Fantastic. And Richie Forrestal?
Know the Score in the bumper.
Know the Score. Thank you very much, chaps. Great stuff. We are back tomorrow looking ahead to Thursday's card.
Nothing says Cheltenham more than a cracking offer from Paddy Power. It's money back as a free bet on all losers if the starting price favourite wins in the first race every day of the festival. Max free bet £10, T's and C's apply. 18+, begambleaware.org.